Hey guys, Leaf here, and I wanted to talk about something I've been asked a lot lately, and that is, who are you? What is your life like? Are you really a leaf? And to that, I say, here is the video for you. So for starters, people always ask me, are you really a leaf? And to that, I have to say, no. Just as Meghan Trainor would say. I am a real person. The Leaf is just a persona and online avatar that I use to convey how I really feel deep down. And that is, no, it is happy. Because I love autumn, I love leaves. It's a great time of year. So, who are you? What's your real name? And I don't want to get too specific with it, and you'll see why in a minute. But, my parents, they came from a place that you might have heard of before. And, yeah, this was the view out of my backyard growing up. And it was a lot to live up to, looking up to that every day and, just not living up to it. Because how can you? And my dad, he was very big in this industry, and due to his influence and power over me, I can't say his name because, yeah, he would ruin my career on YouTube. But I can give you a hint. So, my father, who will not be named, very powerful, influential man. And I tried my best to live up to him, his image, his fame, his status, but I just couldn't do it. And he tried to put me in a movie to give me a little bit of a head start. And that movie, right here, where am I? Well, it's not that my role in the movie was, that insignificant that's not coming up. Let's try this. Yeah, I was definitely in the movie. So I was the children of the people in the Notebook, but whenever they were children, and I feel like I did pretty good in my role. I didn't have any speaking lines or anything like that, but I didn't like it. Not because I was bad at it, not because the director would always have to redo my shots, but because I just feel like it wasn't the right fit for me. So you know what I did? I said, Dad, I want to do something different. I don't want to be an actor like you. And he said, listen here, son. If you don't become an actor or anything in the industry, then it's going to rub bad on me. And it's going to ruin the family because then there's no income. There's no anything. You just ruin all of us. And so it's either acting or you have to leave. And to this day, I respect his opinion. And I respect his decision. So I said, I will leave. So I got in my car and I drove. And I ended up right here before my car ran out of gas. And I was just kind of stuck there. Yeah. And so this was home. Well, I should say somewhere under here, like in the sewers, but it was home. Home sweet home. So, car, no gasoline, what was I to do? I did the only thing I could do. And I joined the circus. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like that. It's not like this anymore. This is kind of like a cartoon. It was a lot more like this. What was my role at the circus? I was supposed to be juggler. They said they were going to teach me, but once I started, they said we assumed that you had some experience with juggling. But I stayed a bit, and the thing that made me leave was they didn't have elephants at this one, but they did have a tiger. And the way that they treated the tiger was like an animal. And you may be saying, yeah, Leaf, it is obviously an animal. But whenever you separate yourself as a person from an animal, you treat them as less than. And as time goes on, you lose more and more respect you had towards the animal, more and more compassion and care, and it slowly just devolves into abuse. Whipping the tiger to get it to jump through the rings, yelling at the tiger, just being mean to the tiger. They would still feed it, they never hit it, because obviously if you hit the tiger, it's just going to eat you. But I realized that I felt like I was being treated like the tiger. That whenever they would yell at me, like, hey, juggle faster, or they would whip me and say, hey, stop dropping the pins, that I was no different than one of these elephants here. So I moved on. And with the very little money I got from it, I walked. I didn't have enough money to pay for gasoline or anything like that, so I just had to walk. And I ended up at an Air Force base in Nevada. They let me in, and surprisingly, they just let me join. I thought that normally you have to, like, apply or pass something, but I guess not. I guess you can just ask and they'll just let you in. But whenever I joined this Air Force base, I felt like Captain Marvel. I felt like a strong, independent woman who can do all the things they want to do in life. I felt like I had superpowers, and my superpower was flying an airplane. And I thought I was pretty good at it. I stayed there long enough to get disability pay when I faked that. And for a bit after, I cruised on my disability pay, doing absolutely nothing with my life. And I realized that when I was in the Air Force, I was thinking back on it. And I moved up to the point where, I was telling other people what to do. And I realized that I was kind of mean. I would yell at them to say, hey, pilot quicker. Or I would whip at them saying, hey, turn your jets on harder. And I realized I was no different than the circus trainers, abusing the poor tiger. And now, I'm sitting on my couch collecting disability pay for it. So, what was I to do? Just sit here, not improving myself, staying the same asshole that I became? Or was I supposed to get back up there and better myself, just like Captain Marvel did? So I did. I got up off the couch, and I called Dad, and I said, hey, can you help me out with something? And he said, you know what? I'll call a friend of mine. And he called Neil Mohan, a wonderful man who I have had the pleasure with having meetings and speaking with. And he said, I'll give you a chance. I won't give you the world. I won't give you everything. I'll just give you the chance to succeed. And that's a better gift than anything else I could ask for. So props to Neil, because he is a great, great man. And the opportunity he gave me was a YouTube channel. He created it for me. He gave it to me, all rights. He had no influence over this channel. Handed it over to me. And I was so happy to have my very own YouTube channel. Very exclusive, right? Very prestigious even. And I have the world to thank for him. So all of you out there who watch YouTube all the time very casually, don't think about the creators too much. I want you to go into the comments and say thank you, Neil. Because each and every YouTuber has been given their chance by Neil personally. And he deserves more credit. He got me off of being a mooch on society and turned me into the upstanding gentleman that I am today. And I'm sure he did the same for all your favorite YouTubers. I bet all of your favorite ones were absolute jobless bums before Neil gave them an opportunity. So at every chance you get, please thank him and thank his works. And so you might be wondering, how are me and my dad currently now that he sees that I've become big just like him? Well, I haven't talked to him since. Because I refuse to until I become bigger than him. So that I can say, thank you, Dad, for giving me all the tools I needed to surpass you. And prove that I am now the superior man. And I can lord it over him and make him feel inferior like how I felt towards him. So please like and subscribe the video so that we can get one step closer to lording it over my father and possibly even making him cry. Not out of happiness that his son succeeded, no, that he was bested by his son, which he always thought was lesser than him. So thank you all, and I hope you enjoyed this life story of mine.